again. I'm the head of innovation at Midbase, and hopefully I can give you a bit of insight of what we've been working on regarding fixing onboarding and what we've learned over the past 5 years. So, Midbase. What is Midbase? I think there are some people here familiar with. Sorry, I can't get the cursor on the computer. Some of you might be familiar with Midbase. For those who are not, we started on Ethereum in 2018. We were one of the leading NFT platforms. Back in the day, we were also a ticketing solution for a couple of events like NFT NYC and a few others. But we were mostly popular for being an NFT factory where you could deploy your NFT contracts, minting tokens, and since we adhere to NFT standards, minting tokens on our platform would make these tokens available on platforms like OpenSea and others. So we were kind of like responsible for a few thousand contracts deployed on Ethereum. But then we faced a few issues in 2020 where Ethereum gas fees went up, so it made it super hard for us to keep onboarding new users or keeping our users. And that's why we kind of looked into other alternatives to Ethereum. And there's a blog post written by Nate, our co-founder, in 2020. And he explores the alternatives to Ethereum. So Layer 2, Polygon, we also looked into Solana, Near. And in order to keep good user experience and onboarding experience, we went with Near. So we decided for Near because it had lower fees, promised scalability, and also allowed you to develop contracts in Rust, which was a big plus for us, and a few other advanced features I'm diving a bit deeper today here. But when we joined, Near lacked a bunch of features and standards in general, so we helped with that. We participated actively on writing the NFT standards on Near and building a bunch of indexers for NFTs and things like that. And this only to help us conceptualize and develop new use cases. Because we love NFTs, we understand that NFTs are the future, but we didn't really know, we didn't really have any specific use case yet, so we kept on building new things. And that's one of the things I'm here to talk about today, one of the use cases that started with me on an internal hackathon called Minsta. And the goal of Minsta is to mint tokens instantly. Minsta or minting Instagram for some, if it makes it easier to understand. But so Minsta looks very simple. It's a feed, so you can take pictures, and those pictures are minted as NFTs and then pop up in the general feed. So this is kind of the 1.0 NFT user experience, NFT experience that users generally understand. We've deployed this in several crypto conferences, like Denver this year, NearCon last year, also a few other smaller Rare Factory in Lisbon too, and Breakout in Rio. And deploying this at all of these events was pretty cool because we were able to show off fast and cheap transactions while making it possible to show our infrastructure, the things we've been building, like SDKs, indexers, and things like that. But also keeping a simple user experience that users could get minting tokens, right? Not just like buying PFPs, but using or giving more utility to these tokens. So things we've learned. This is quite interesting because deploying these at crypto conferences, we were expecting that most people had crypto accounts or crypto in general. But the thing we've learned is that not a lot of people actually have accounts with funds or enough funds to play around with things. There are a lot of crypto curious people, but they don't have crypto, or maybe they're afraid to connect accounts to some random app. I tried to onboard a few people here today. Thanks, Elder, for trying it out. But I kind of understand why people don't really want to just try random apps. And this is the best one for me. It's Veterans at Home. I've heard this countless times. People just avoid using your thing. And this might sound like an excuse, probably isn't. Because, I know a lot of people that only use crypto via ledgers, and that's fine. So we've learned all this, and we changed a few things. So we made sure that the next iteration, so the V1, Minsta was deployed to all these conferences before as a V0, sort of like an experiment, and now we changed a bunch of things like create accounts easily with human readable names and allow people to mint tokens with no funds. So we made sure that people can experiment these apps without having to go through fiat on-ramps and things like that. So since we're here, and I know like people hate scanning QR codes, there's the link there. Please make sure you try this out. I wanted to do it here as well on this computer, but maybe I'll just give you a few seconds, maybe a couple of minutes to try it out. You'll be prompted with have to create an account first, so that any of you have any questions, I'll try to address those. And if you do not take the concept yet, you need to take a picture. So if you don't want to take pictures of yourself, take a picture of me. I'm happy to be on chain. Let's do it. Yeah.
I need to have the wallet.
You have to create it.
I have to create it.
Yeah. I would.
Oh shit.
Oh, the dude might be pushing something. Is it loaded for anyone else? The wallet? Yeah, I'll not sure, but I can look into that. The wallet? Oh, interesting. Okay. Right. Okay, moving on. Okay. So this new version that we're trying now is open source. We're encouraging people to fork it, to change it. We've seen a few events, so we've used it at already a few events, and we're already seeing a couple of community forks too. So this is pretty cool. It gives everyone the ability to just own one of their clones. And with this, we were able to onboard a few thousand users, new users to Near, and a bunch of a few thousand tokens to be minted. And we hope to see more of this soon. So if you've tried now Insta and the wallet, except for this guy, sorry, it's broken for you, but the wallet, there was a video, it's not loading. Anyway, the wallet, as you probably tried, well, we try to put together a bunch of cool things about Near. One is manage transactions. So to make sure that users can mint tokens with no funds, we use something very simple that the user signs the transaction, submits it to a relayer, and then we cover the cost. So we basically sponsor gas fees and deposits. For now, we're doing this, we're covering a few transactions, not all the transactions. We don't want to run out of money. But in the future, we want to open up this more and give developers and companies the ability to sponsor their users' gas fees. We also use web authorization and passkeys, so we store the key pair that you create here locally on your device. If you have iCloud maybe on your iPhone, it will share across devices connected to the SIM account. And we also support human readable names. This is native on here, so you can get your name or your favorite name on here for free, pretty much. It's very important to mention that there are a couple of differences between Ethereum and Ethereum account and a Near account. I put this slide here specifically for Ethereum Block Summit because, well, on Ethereum you have a key pair. It's basically your account. You have a public key and a private key. While on Near you have a human readable name, a named account. And then you create multiple key pairs depending with varying permissions. So you can create full access keys. In this case, we're creating full access keys and store it on your device. But maybe for accounts, for apps that you don't really trust, you might create a key pair with less permissions. So let's say you just want to mint there, it doesn't really have access to anything else on your account. And this is an example of it. So you create an account here today on your mobile, and another one on your laptop, so you basically have a key pair that manages your account. And then if your mobile was lost, you can use that first key pair to remove this key pair that was created on your mobile. And in case you don't trust an app, instead of creating a full access key on your device, you can just create a function call key with the permissions meant on this app, and in our wallet will manage all that for you. Again, I put this slide again because maybe I wasn't too persuasive the first time. If you guys want me to try it now, you can do it. I bet most of you did it. Okay, cool. So what are our future plans to keep improving on the user onboarding experience? We want to let users use everyday language for everything. It's kind of like our ultimate goal is we don't need UI for every single specific use case. We want to let users to pretty much just use the language they use every day. And again, like AI is out there, everyone's hyped about it. We tried a few things specifically with ChatGPT and other LLMs, but more specifically with ChatGPT. And we developed 2 plugins that use the same technology as our wallet. One is Action, the other is Search. If you have the ChatGPT Premium, you can try it out. It's free. But the one thing about, this uses something called function calling, so it converts natural language into API queries or database queries. So for example, the mint-based search allows you so you can ask for give me tokens owned by this account, and we'll convert this prompt into a graphical query, submit it, and then get the results in textual format. The action is, it's just for submitting transactions. You can ask for things like, I want to send this token to this account, and it will convert this prompt into a transaction payload, get submitted as an actual transaction. But the problem with OpenAI and ChatGPT is that they do not allow financial transactions on ChatGPT, so we had to build our own solution. Today we don't support GPT-4 for everyone, so we're kind of like releasing this slowly. But you can use 3.5. It's not great. That's why I have this screen on the side to show you the good things that if you want to do in the future. So let me try. And I think this was the AI presentation. There are builders hackers here at NearCon this year. We also have a bounty that's forking Mint stuff and changing it, and I don't know exactly the price, but we have a bounty for at NearCon hackathon, and we are starting our second cohort of grants this next year, earlier next year. So we have a project, we want to build something regarding NFTs on here. We're receiving proposals now, and we're starting to review this next week or 2 weeks from now. So the proposal is github.com/interest/grants-program, and you can get your PR and review it. Okay, that's it. I want to take the next maybe 10 minutes to Q&A and take some pictures. Yeah.
Where do you get the funding from?
Sorry?
The funding, where does money come?
The funding for the grants?
Yeah.
Direct from the Near Foundation.
Funding.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Where do you save the images in a private database or where?
We save it on Arweave. It's we have Arweave expert here actually. So if you want to talk a bit about Arweave.
Yes, so just in short, Arweave is a permanent storage data block. So basically our premise is you upload the image once, you pay 1 fee, and it's stored forever.
And it's like IPFS?
IPFS, but apparently more stable in the sense that if you want your image and you want to draw from it, it'll always be drawable, right? Whereas an IPFS, after a certain amount of time that passes, that comes into question, right? Mm-hmm. And then just one more thing, people may say, I'm not with Arweave, by the way, I just build on their chain, so I'm just speaking on what I know. But a lot of people say, well, if I upload this and I only have to pay once, how do you guys keep the lights on after a while, right? Well, their bet is that as storage gets cheaper and cheaper every year, you only have to pay for that one image once actually becomes economically feasible in the long run, right? So that's kind of what they're betting on right now. But yeah, so they use Arweave. I do think that was a swarm decision when they use Arweave. There's a lot of tooling that they can use from here to upload things into our groups and other blockchain. And as you saw there was 4 pictures that literally jumped from their contracts to another blockchain and stored right there. It'll be retrievable forever. So, yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, I want to ask one, what does the mint-based team want to see? Like, what kind of grants are y'all looking for? Like, what areas, what kind of utility NFTs? Like, can you just elaborate more on that?
Sure. So we're always trying to look into new use cases for NFTs. That's kind of like the goal. I can give you a quick rundown on the grants we gave this year. We have, for example, do you know WallID?
WallID, I've heard of it.
Yeah, WallID kind of worked with us to make it possible for Twitter accounts or like using other web providers, web authorization providers to create accounts on here, so we could, like, let's say, mint a token with the Twitter account without having to, first that the Twitter user be onboarded, but like we mint the token with their Twitter account on chain, and then they can claim the royalties later at a later stage when they're royalties. So we kind of like worked with them on that. We have a whiskey exchange, so minting the whiskey barrels as NFTs. That's another use case to look into.
Well, is that a use case y'all are looking at, or is that somebody actually submitting something?
They're submitting, and we find it interesting.
Okay, what country is it based out of?
Portugal. Not yet. Kind of in common, but they're looking to make Portugal a country for whiskey. What else? Oh, I can.
What sort of amounts are you giving grants? What do they range from?
10K, 20K drops. So we have, I think for this year we have $600,000 to distribute. So maybe like, I don't know, we'll try to distribute up to 65.
So does Portugal already have a regulatory green light to let NFTs flourish like that, or are there still some legal hurdles that?
There are probably legal hurdles.
Yeah.
But they are a company and they're dealing with that. So we just provide infrastructure and they build components. So the goal of grants is that these companies and these projects build components that are useful for the wider community. So for example, that's an interesting synergy that happened because we had WallID that had a lot of experience with DocuSign, and they, I think their wallet extension on the browser connected directly to DocuSign. And the whiskey team actually ended up using their solution, the WallID solution, to let people sign documents with near accounts and things like that. So yeah, I mean, the bureaucracy, I'm not 100% confident on explaining, but yeah.
Regarding what you said, barriers for people on onboarding process, is it not a barrier to have a lot of wallets everywhere? Because I don't know what the hackathon was written, and I got these 5 different accounts, and there are not many wallets there.
Yeah.
Nice to have this, like you have met that you have the same account and just change the network.
Yeah, that's true. So that's one of the problems with Near for us, is that it's not interchangeable with other chains, right? So your Near account cannot really use the same account as you would on MetaMask. You could just use the same account for multiple chains. Yeah, so one of the things we're trying to solve with the wallet, again, like we joined here super early on, and that comes with a bunch of obstacles, right? When we joined, there were no centers, no indexers, nothing. We had to go all from scratch, and then we faced the problem that no one really uses Near or has accounts with Near. So that's kind of like what we're trying to fix here. And the goal, if you're a Near user, the goal is to abstract away the chain as much as possible. And one of the goals is for you to use the same account across devices. So you have to keep creating new accounts for every device. And the goal is for us to make a seamless experience.
Just a comment, I think it's really cool the onboarding system you guys do, and the user experience seems very fine.
Thank you.
Just to create a wallet, just put your name and get it.
Do you have an iPhone? Or
Yeah.
Android? Yeah, iPhone. Yeah, I personally like the face ID stuff, like you can sign transactions with face ID.
That's insane, for sure.